Health is a really big problem here in Dallas, and a lot of the people don't go outside as often as they should, and it has to do mainly with the inactive lifestyle and the unhealthy eating habits that this city has. So in designing our building, we had to look at what really motivates people into getting fit, and we took a step back and just looked at what really motivates someone to get physically fit, and we saw that it's human interaction that really drives a person to become better. Human interaction allows people to see what they want to be and get feedback from other people in the society. Physical fitness requires continual and excessive motivation for you to become fit, and that motivation can come from support from your family and friends, it can come from envy of other people, and it can come from just peer pressure. In our design, we took these ideas of motivation from the community and applied it to our building. The idea of two towers being connected is that idea of the community interacting with each other and standing together as a unit. The Edit Tower acts as a cultural center for Dallas. It brings people together and gives them a sense of unity that will help motivate them to get physically.
Our design is intended to represent the connection and interaction between community and the individual in order to promote a life of physical and mental health. Edit Tower consists of two vertical forms that exist in complementary contrast to one another, with a strong horizontal form that acts as a connection between the two of them. The simplicity of the pure forms and geometry exemplifies the ideal nature of a body dedicated to physical and mental fitness. The void forms that exist on the grid of the building expose and illuminate their inner cores, representing the spirit of the community and the individual. Within these voids, small parks and green areas will be embedded, emphasizing both physical and communicable activities. Edit Tower not only reflects the urban fabric that surrounds it, but also embodies the manifestation of communal and individual interaction.
The placement of the shear bolts was one of the most important factors within the stability of the structures. If we didn't place the shear bolts upon the largest building, the force of air would have been too great and could have possibly tore down the building by itself. The placement of the columns themselves were very critical to the structure and integrity of the building. If the columns were not strategically placed, then it would cause a great error in the integrity of the actual building. If they were misplaced or something happened to them, then the whole integrity of the building would just begin to collapse. Within our experience of placing columns, we saw that as we began to place them in our strategic order, that the hallways begin to naturally form themselves. The more columns we place, the more natural it seemed for each column to be placed there. We actually made the hallways to be big enough for a person to come in one direction with another person coming in the other direction, with ample space for each one of them. The car was designed with 30 feet in mind, allowing for space for not only the vents, but allowing space for the elevators that would be placed inside. The elevators were kept in mind thoroughly, and we decided to keep 16 elevators within the building. The stairs were placed in standard procedure across each diagonal of the building, and it just seemed like it was geometric harmony. The placement of the stairs also allowed for a perfect exit route. It allowed for people just to go with one diagonal, while the other set of people just go to the other diagonal, leading to the stairs at both sides.
The building is a reflection of what the city of Dallas should stand for. Edit Tower blends harmonically well into the surrounding of Dallas, especially during the nightlife. We kept that in mind when looking at the entire site. We drew connections between what we saw as important structures in Dallas. The spaces below the larger tower will serve as a public park, promoting the interaction between the community as well as the interaction of the individual, allowing it to become a social space where people can come together and interact. These spaces lead to a pathway that connects the Primero Museum and the Dallas Aquarium. The pathways will then mold into a pedestrian area where people have the right of way.